Offering 4 different battles of the U.S. Civil War, Blue and Gray from SPI was first published in 1975. It was followed by a sequel, Blue and Gray 2, which also consisted of 4 different battles. After SPI folded in the early 1980s, TSR picked up the rights to reprint the original game. Although long out of print, Blue and Gray was a popular 2-player introductory war game that used a movement and combat system based on an earlier SPI release, Napoleon at Waterloo. The components for Blue and Gray consist of the following. Blue and Gray consist of 4 different battles: Shiloh, Antietam, Cemetery Hill, and Chickamauga. The battles are depicted at operational level, meaning you act as the general in charge, pitting your forces against your opponent. The units themselves are depicted by their unit type, size, designation, and combat strength. All units have a movement allowance of 6 per turn. This allows units to move across different types of terrain that include clear, rough, forest, forest rough, roads and trails, and through hillsides and streams. Each battle depicted is designated to be played in a simple format of movement and combat. The winner is the one who meets the victory conditions as laid out for each battle. Each battle is divided into turns that have 2 main phases for each player: movement and combat. Unless otherwise stated by specific rules for the battle, you may move all of your units up to their full movement allowance at the start of your turn. You may not move onto an enemy unit, leave the zone of control of an enemy unit, or enter a hex that is considered impassable, such as a river. You may move through a hex with friendly units, but at the end of the movement phase, no more than 2 friendly units may be present in one hex. Once you have completed the movement phase, all of your units that are in the zone of control of enemy units must engage in combat. The zone of control extends to each adjacent hex of the unit. It does not extend across streams unless a bridge is present. Combat is mandatory. It is conducted using an odds-based chart in which a 6-sided die is rolled. The results may include the following: attacker retreat or attacker destroyed, defender retreat or defender destroyed, exchange where both sides lose units, or no effect at all. Infantry and cavalry units must be adjacent to enemy forces to attack, but artillery units may bombard from a distance of 2 hexes. They do not suffer from an attack retreat, attacker eliminated, or exchange results when they bombard. Artillery may add their strength to a friendly infantry or cavalry unit during an attack if they are in range of the enemy. They may not add their strength if the unit is defending or being attacked. If an enemy unit that was in a zone of control retreats or is destroyed, then one of the attacking units may advance into the hex it once occupied. Once combat is completed, the second player may now move all of their units and conduct combat as the attacker. The attack effectiveness optional rule occurs when an attacker receives an attacker retreat result on the combat die. The purpose of the optional rule is to show the weakened morale of a unit rebuffed in combat. When this happens, the unit is turned face down and remains so until a night turn or until the end of the game. Battles with no night turns means that the unit will remain face down for the duration. Being face down means that the unit cannot attack or enter an enemy zone of control, but they may still move, have enemy units enter their zone of control, and they can defend at their combat strength. If such a unit begins their combat phase in the zone of control of an enemy unit, either the enemy units must retreat or the ineffective unit must retreat. There is no advance after combat when this occurs. If an ineffective unit begins the enemy's combat phase in the zone of control of an enemy unit, they defend as normal. A unit may regain their effectiveness during the night turn. Blue and Gray from SPI represents a simple type of war game designed for quick play. It's fast, easy to learn, and represents one of the more iconic offerings from wargaming in the 1970s.